Hey, it's Joddie Taylor of SnackysSays.com. Welcome back to my podcast. Today I have a short and sweet one for you. I wanted to mention first up, this is a time-sensitive workshop week. I usually mention workshop week in my newsletter, but I forgot to this year. And workshop week is coming up June 12th to 16th. So when am I sending this out? Great, you're gonna get this. You're gonna get this on June 11th, I think. But what it is a chance to practice different types of art. Like you can practice or just watch. My recollection, I've done it this is gonna be my third year in a row, I think, is that they are usually about 6 sessions per day. They're usually less than an hour, and sometimes they are live. There's hand lettering, there's digital planning, there's sketching, all types of things. So if you're more like an iPad person, there's something for you. If you are more like arts and crafty, there's something for you. And it's hosted by Becca. I believe her last name is Cortese. You can find her at thehappyevercrafter.com. I'm not an affiliate. I don't even know if they have an affiliate for this, but I enjoy it every year. And I at least end up going to at least 4 sessions in real time, and the replays are up for 24 hours. So I'll put the link in the show notes. I just wanted to put that on your radar if you're interested. The first year I bought the Vault, and I still revisit it, and I was actually looking at some of the classes the other day. The Vault is the option to buy all of the courses in advance. I got to take a look at this year's offerings. I may buy it, but the good thing about it is that it introduces me to folks that I don't know or I haven't heard of, and then I end up signing up for their course, or I've even looked into their books and stuff like that. All right, let's move on. The other thing I wanted to talk about is AI. Now, I am not an expert. Maybe like you, I'm curious about it, and like you, it keeps popping up. So I wanted to share some resources and things I've come across or experimented with lately. Number one, not in order of importance, like I always say. Number one, Teal. Teal will help you build your resume. If you're on LinkedIn, you've probably seen a bunch of HR folks and recruiters mentioning it. I saw one post about Teal, and then within 2 days, I felt like I saw another half a dozen. So I have tried it out. I've experimented with it. It's free. I mean, of course, the good, you got to upgrade. But just for S's and giggles, you can put your resume in and see what it spits out. Like your summary might be different. If you put the job title you're looking for, they will rearrange your resume, like the keywords and the language to fit that job description. It's really interesting. And again, I'll put the link in the show notes. It's tealhq.com. None of the stuff that I'm mentioning, just FYI, I'm not an affiliate, just stuff I've come across and I thought were interesting. The other is I watched a YouTube video. It's gotten almost 1 million views. I think it came out about, oh my gosh, is this right? Like a month ago? Not long ago, maybe 2 months ago. It's by MonsGuide, and it's called How I Made a Faceless YouTube Channel Using Free AI Tools. Whether or not you want to make a faceless YouTube channel, this is a masterclass in less than 15 minutes of all of the free AI tools out there that you could use for your YouTube channel, or maybe in other ways. I mean, she literally goes through a whole bunch of AI tools. Just for that alone, I would recommend watching the video because it's really interesting to see what she did with these free tools. And then Pat Flynn, who you may or may not have heard of. I feel like if you're into content creation, you've probably heard of him. He does other things, but for some reason content creation came to mind because he's a podcaster. And this particular video is around using ChatGPT for your podcast. If you have a podcast, again, even if you don't, I thought it was interesting, and this one clocked in at just about 13 minutes. It's called Podcasting Plus AI Equals Magic, ChatGPT for Podcasters. On that note, If you've been reading my show notes, I would say the last 3 or 4, I've been using Castmagic. I'll put the link in the show notes, and it really helps me with timestamps, even with like titles, a title that I wouldn't have thought of. And like when I post on LinkedIn, I'll use the language, or I tweak it. It's not perfect, but I've gotten some really good, solid ideas for show notes and how to word things if I'm going to share on LinkedIn or somewhere else. Even if I was going to put something in the newsletter, for example. I will say I actually wasn't planning on talking about Castmagic, but I'm sharing these other AI tools because I wanted to see from a data analytics standpoint if, for example, because I'm using this, I see a bump or an increase in views because now I have more SEO friendly language in my show notes and in my posts. So we'll see. It's really too early to tell. It hasn't been a full month. I think it'll take a few months for me to really say like, okay, I see a correlation or I don't. But that being said, I'm enjoying using it and dipping my toe in AI. I think those are all. Let me check my notes. I got notes this time. What? Did you hear that? My voice kind of cracked. Was there anything else I wanted to share? What does this say? Oh, okay. This isn't AI. I'm not sure why I wrote this here, and I think I've shared it before. But if you're looking for remote work, NoCommute on Substack has remote jobs. It can be delivered to your inbox, or you can just go on Substack. I think I have them as a recommend on my Substack. I don't know why I put it here, but maybe someone needs to hear it. I just love the variety of jobs that they have. And again, they're all remote and just a true variety. I think the reason why I put it here was because I wanted to do a roundup of tools you can use in your job hunt. That's the connection there. All right, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Did I say this was going to be short and sweet? 8 minutes. When I say short and sweet, I think like 5 minutes. And now I've just been like kind of chatting. So we went over workshop week and some interesting AI tools. Oh, there was one more. I knew I was forgetting something. That's why I was like chitty chatting. Where is it? Google has a learning path. Google Cloud Skills Boost. They have a generative. I think it's generative, but that doesn't sound right either. Generative. That doesn't sound right. Generative AI Learning Path. Because if I clap my hands, that's going to help me pronounce it better. I just started this path. I'm literally just in the first course. But again, if you're interested in AI, this is a nice free intro. It goes into a bunch of different things. And this is, I think, it's described as a micro-learning course aimed at explaining what generative AI is. Okay, so those are some AI tools and resources. Again, just if you're interested, like I think it's worth poking around and taking a look, putting your resume in Teal or something like it, experimenting with coming up with show notes or ideas or like a post using some of these AI tools, just because, just why not? And again, the 2 videos that I mentioned, 2 YouTube videos from Pat Flynn and MonsGuide, I will put in the show notes. Okay, I think that's about everything. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed this podcast episode or any of my podcast episodes, please do share with a friend or 3. This is Joddie Taylor of SnackysSays, and my Substack is Joddie, JODDIE.substack.com. Thank you for listening.